Okay, now we are also on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube, you don't like music apparently. Hi, friend.
Hello.
Okay, so we are on X, on the Kate Awakenings X and her Pilled. That's my baby sister, and she gives me a lot of grace and decides to let me keep her seat warm for her while she's doing cooler things. Lots of people in the chat. There were people on the Rumble chat. Rod was on the Rumble chat.
Oh, okay.
So I just keep intermittently popping in there and just saying we're on X. And so Rod found us on X. Good. And Circle of One is in the Pilled chat. He said there's no chips and dip. It was like, well, everyone signed up for napkins. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Okay, so I am Molly Sleuth. I was a teenage punk rocker. It was kind of a cool time. And that's when I met Danielle, and we were like goth girls on the dance floor in like wedding dresses, smoking cloves. Did you ever smoke cloves?
I did smoke cloves. Yes, I know.
That was like the pinnacle of goth.
That was hardcore, and it smelled so good. And yeah, you're just so cool.
They did. Okay, so tell us about yourself.
You met you on the sticky dance floors in Los Angeles.
I worked so many of those clubs. And you know what was like crazy is that people would come in, they would pay their $10, and then they would be like going through the curtain to go into this like dirty, sticky place so that they could like lose their shoes in 5 minutes and like walk around on somebody else's dried bile. And they'd be like, yeah, like it's just a dark, loud room. I don't understand. Like there's no magic.
I know. I used to work the door for a lot of Blade Rhinos clubs, like Eternal.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, and so it was funny being on that end of it of like, I have the guest list and I'm at the door and everyone's I get to see everyone coming in all done up or
yeah. I used to say I am the eyes and ears of this institution because like when you work the door of a club, like who is screwing who's in a fight, like everything.
Oh yeah.
You gotta go to your door people and go, I'm about to ask them out. Where are you at like with this? And then I'll let you know. And yeah, there was it was a good time. And people come up like, so do you have a cute guy discount? Yeah, we do, sir, but it's $10 for you. And like it was just so dumb. Oh, could I like get my money back if there's no like hot girls in there? Of course, sir. We have a blowjob or your money back guarantee. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then, they would just like, oh, could I just go in for a minute and like, look.
Oh yeah,
nice to go in. It's free to get the fuck out of my face. You're at a crossroads. Next.
I want to see if my friend's here. I'll be right back. It's like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't have any friends. It's $10.
First of all, we know you don't have friends. Yeah. So. Okay.
And I mean, we used to do all kinds of stuff. Like you'd always keep the hot girls outside for a little while. Oh, ladies, you look great tonight. If you could just wait a minute for the boss to go away from the door, I can get you in for free. Oh, really? Yeah. Like, and then so you'd have like hot tits on the sidewalk. And so other people were like, oh shit, I want to go to that club. And like, then you would let them in and they would make 12 other people park. So it was totally worth it.
You're definitely a much more skilled door person than I was.
I loved it. But then, so as you know, because we've been friends forever, like I was a cop for over a decade. I really like that, like good cop, bad cop, like kind of a thing. And all that psychological torture. I taught interview and interrogation tactics, body language and lie detection for LAPD. The best time. I mean, it was just so great. I used to have this one picture. I don't know why I'm showing you a picture of my little frogs from my new garden. Aren't they cute?
So cute. I love them.
But I had this picture. It was a case that I had. This is a side quest, but anyway, it was this gang member. I won't even say what gang he's from. And he's like lifting his shirt up to show his like stomach tattoos and he's throwing his gang sign.
Wow.
And I got that picture on a phone from some dumb idiot who like did a beer run and dropped her phone. And I'm like, cool. So you got $20 worth of beer and you dropped your $700 phone. That seems like a good change. Anyway, I used the phone to ID her and whatever. But there was this like beautiful picture of this gangster, like looking all hard, whatever. And I used to use that picture in my interrogations all the time. I had this one case where these two old men were fighting over rose bushes that were between their two driveways. Somebody had clipped them and he wanted a vandalism report and this whole bit. So I call this old man in to be like, did you cut his rose bushes back too hard, And I'm like, this is the dumbest case. Like, the prosecutor's never even going to file this. Like, it grows back. They're like, you see on the picture, like the roses were growing over. He doesn't want to scratch his door. Like, you put rose bushes on the border of your properties to be a dick. They're going to get cut. So anyway, I just decided to have some fun with him. So I slid the picture over. I was like, okay, hi. Yeah, thanks for coming in and talking to me today. So I do have a crime report and, we'll see where this goes. But somebody said that you might possibly be involved or a witness. And so that's why thank you so much for coming in. So take a look at that picture. And so I slide him the picture of the gangsters and I'm like, who's that? The old man's like, I don't know. Just some gangster being whatever with this gang. Well, he knows you, so you better take another look. No, I don't know. So the whole thing was like, well, where were you Thursday night? Well, I was home cutting my neighbor's rose bushes down. Okay, well, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had seasoned detectives that used to go into the room where you can monitor all the interrogations just to watch me play. That man, they never filed any charges on him. It's literally War of the Roses with these two old men to each other. I still have that picture. Should frame it. Here's the new picture I'm going to frame, though.
Okay. Oh, yes. I heard last time, this was a previous resident.
Yeah. So this has been a roller coaster of a freaking year for me. I have been homeless for the first time in my life. And it started, so I lived in this ant farm complex. They sold it to BlackRock, which, as you know, is like a cancer, which is just absorbing all this property to increase and inflate rents beyond all reason. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to be the last rat off the sinking ship. I better go find a place right now. So I found a place 6 driveways away. And they said it's a no smoking building. And I'm like, well, this looks a little bit, lower income, but whatever. I'm cheap and I can handle it. And it's a 1 bedroom. It's a lot smaller, but I can do it. And so I signed the lease. And the first month I couldn't move in because it was a 24/7 drug fest going on in the hallways. And I was like, hey, you guys said that it was non-smoking? Oh yeah, we're taking care of that. Cool. It's month 2 now. I just paid rent again. And I'm still hanging on to my old apartment. When am I going to be able to freaking sleep here? So then I ended up having to get rid of the old apartment. I paid for an extra month just to have this buffer zone for them to unfuck themselves. And it didn't happen. So I slept there 13 nights. I had to go to urgent care from all the drug smoke. And people are like, how, you're a firefighter. I'm like, there we go. Look, there's no plants up there anymore. They're all at my place. It's so exciting. Yay. So, because I'm at work, because I don't have internet. How can you smoke, smell burning buildings, but not burning weed? How do you eat peanuts, but not walnuts? Get the fuck out of my face. So anyway, they put me on this medication that made me homicidal. And, it was really dark.
More homicidal than usual. Yes.
I'm never really homicidal. I'll be snarky. I'll win, but without violence. I felt violence, and I've never felt like that before. And so the people there was a couple that lived sharing my wall, and they're on government assistance, and they smoke weed all day long. And they're knocking on my door, hey, you got a trash bag? You got any toilet paper? Could I get, could I work for you today maybe? Bro, fuck off. I'm not an employer. And so then she said, oh, well, we see that you have all of this, you're taking all these clothes to Goodwill. Do you think that maybe like I could look through the clothes and like have some of your clothes? Like, here's what's not going to happen. It's 12 degrees out. Okay. And I'm sitting in my car warming it up to go to this thing called work. You wouldn't understand. But anyway, what I do is I do things I don't like and don't want to do for money to pay to live next to you while you're not paying. And what's not going to happen is me sitting in my 12-degree freaking car warming it up to go to work while you're like, in your window, warm and cozy in your free apartment, smoking your drugs and waving at me in my fucking sweater. That's not going to happen. And so anyway, like after 13 nights and being on this medication, it gave me like a heart rate of like 140 beats per minute, like laying down, doing nothing, 3 a.m. And I just wanted to bust through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man and just like throttle everybody in the building. I just was like, it was crazy.
Yes.
And so the slumlord that runs this place, which ironically is named Simply Live Properties, like that's all I want to do is just simply live. Like I don't understand. Like
how ironic.
Yeah. I was like, can't you just like you said that this is a non-smoking building, fucking handle your business. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. Well, then you can't call this non-smoking. Anyway, so he said he was going to sue me. And I was like, I mean, that's going to be rich that you're going to like sue a firefighter because I could only live here 13 nights before I went to urgent care. So that's good. But anyway, so then I moved into a motel because I just had to get out of Dodge. And then I'm like, what am I going to do now? And it's like weed is sort of everywhere. Like you can't really get away from it if you're in an apartment. So I'm like, shit. So I was looking at apartments that like that were like reasonable people that were like, had their shit together, and they were like $1,600. And I live in Michigan, like $1,600. Like my shithole apartment in Koreatown, LA was $550. Yeah, I mean, I bathed with a hose and rats were coming out of the heater, but that's beside the point. They really were. I sucked one of them up in a hose once, a vacuum hose. Anyway,
that's for another episode. Yeah,
that's for the rat show. But anyway, I ended up, like, long story short, I bought a dead guy's house. It cost me thousands of dollars to get into that because I had the fucking worst real estate agent that has ever existed in all humankind. He wrote this one addendum that was only 7 words and 2 of them were misspelled. Like, this is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, sir. It's called inspection. Like, I don't know. That's probably an important one to learn, like, for later. But yes, after my shithole real estate agent, actually, he was kind of over me because he's a soy boy. And he was like, well, my mommy's going to show you the next place. Like, thanks. So then I bought this like beautiful little grandma house. And there was this lovely old couple that lived in it. They lived there for 27 years. And it has like, here's my little bird feeder with the little like dove family.
Yeah,
like having a good time. And my like 7-foot tall grass. I got 22,000 steps yesterday and I only mowed half of it.
22,000.
And I put my Fitbit on it at noon. It was rough.
Oh my gosh.
And because like the lawn is so shaggy, because he was moving out, I was moving in, I got bigger fish to fry than the lawn. Like, so now like at this point, and I'm learning about nature because I'm from the hellhole called Los Angeles, where growing grass is the only thing illegal. And so you're like pushing it and it's like choking out the thing. And so I'm like learning how to, but anyway, that's kind of what we're talking about tonight is like change. And so that lady lived there, and now there's a punk rocker with a sailor mouth that lives there. And I think it's kind of exciting.
You don't know she had a sailor mouth. You don't know.
She doesn't look like she had a sailor mouth. She looks like a nice lady.
You never know.
And so it's just so different. Like this has been just such a roller coaster of a freaking year. Kind of for both of us.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
But tonight I am celebrating because tonight is the first night that I'm sleeping in my bed since February 13th.
Oh my gosh.
And like, I can't. I got a Martinelli's from the dollar store, so I'm really getting crazy over here.
It is. I enjoyed my one from last week.
I know. I got myself too, so sue me. This one is different. It's pear cider.
Ooh, it's delicious. That's definitely celebration cider.
A good vintage. Thank you, Martinelli's.
Nice. You're going to sleep like a baby tonight. Oh.
Oof. That's a little rough. I'm not sure if any pears were harmed in the making of this Martinelli's. Whew. That's sharp. But yeah, I'm really excited. And okay, so it's all going to be house projects. I won't bore you with all of them, even though I know that you're a total home improvement queen. But my first project, my first order of business moving into this house, don't clean another person's toilet. No, I had to put glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling.
Yes.
And then I took the boob light and I took spray paint of glow-in-the-dark and I took a plastic bag and went all over the boob light.
Oh, so cool. So it looks like the moon.
Yes.
A moon boob.
So that's going to be my evening tonight. Like, I'm just so excited. So let's just end the show now. Thank you and have a good night. But it really is cute. There's like wallpaper everywhere. It's kind of rough, but like I have this cute little parquet floor and they left a metric shit ton of fake flowers in the house. They left a lot of stuff for me, which is good. But now my life as like a new homeowner is like these kind of decisions, like which doorknobs do I need for my bathroom? I picked the middle one.
Beautiful.
So it's like, I mean, the amount of tears that were happening in February was like rough. Like it was like, I'm too old to feel like this much of a loser. And like now I just am busy with like home projects and like the neighbors coming out to laugh at me while I'm trying to mow the lawn. And like, it's just so different. It's like really a magical place. And it just feels different. Like the house feels so full of like happiness. And I don't know. I can't really explain it. But there's a red shag murder basement.
Yes.
So I'm leaving it for now. I just got a disco ball for the basement because why not?
Yes.
But a lot of things are looking up. So I'm very happy about that. But now I want to start on you because
me.
I had to get this text today.
Mr. Rogue, yes, he went to the vet today. Got his annual checkup. He's fine. He got his rabies shot, and he's just
good. Now he can bite me with impunity.
Like, can't gain any more weight. And I was like, this is a problem with me and cats. I like feeding them, but I'll do
best. I like feeding everything. Like treats are like, that's the happiest.
I know.
I think every dog I ever had as a kid died of obesity. It's like, that's so, they're cuter when they're fat.
I know. But I'll do my best.
But, okay, so this is the problem.
Yes.
Here's the problem. I wanted to be on Rumble because I put all these emotes on my channel, on the Molly Sleuth channel.
Oh, and they're on Rumble.
Bunnies versus cats.
Oh, yes.
And now we can't do it, so we'll have to do it another time. But,
yeah.
I mean, there's just this regular cat, whatever, cool. Just a cat. But then there's Paloma. Look at Pooey. All right.
So cute.
Pet chat is over. Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about change. Like you and I are on the phone like all the time.
Yes. And I think this is go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that, yeah, I think this was a good topic. We were talking about, what to talk about. And I mean, there's just a shit ton of change everyone's going through. I mean, with just the world. I mean, people are still dealing with stuff from the pandemic. There's lots of political change. And then personal change for people. And yeah, there's been a ton for me, especially in this season of life I'm in. And it's hard. Even if it's change for the good or the better, it's still difficult. And, you know, different people react to it in different ways, obviously, depending on what that is. And it's a necessary part of life. And I often get inspiration from others that have, dealt with stuff. And so I thought, hey, let's talk about our stories. So maybe someone might get inspired, or like, you guys are crazy. I don't know.
I don't know that my life's going to inspire anyone to cure any cancer, but I have been through a lot of change in my life.
Yeah.
A lot. Let me see if I can find a picture of punk rock Molly. I guess I'm still punk rock. I just don't dress like an asshole anymore. Well, I say that, but I'm wearing my Monster Lover shirt today.
Woo-hoo.
I do love me a good monster. Oh, and the first picture I find is my old partner from LAPD with his weight loss before picture. So that's good. It's a good day when that's just like rolling around on your desk. I'm sure his wife would be very happy. Oh, there's his wife. He was supposed to be on tonight, but Danielle saved the day. Okay. I might have been punk, but I was also
so pious,
pure and happy. All right, this is the Molly that you met.
Yes.
Dude, look at those eyebrows.
I know. They are
non-existent. Oh. I mean, I don't know that I have a whole lot of eyebrows now. I've had like every hair color that ever freaking existed. I liked this outfit. I wore this outfit. I was in a shitty death rock band and we played the whiskey, and I glued it to my boobs because otherwise if you leaned forward it would like bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then I glued it with rubber cement because I thought, well, like little kids have rubber cement, so it must be totally non-toxic and safe. My boobs were on fire. I had to call poison control on the way to the whiskey. They were like, you need to take that off right now and you need to clean it and all this stuff. And I was like, I have a show. And so
oh my God.
Burned my boobs. And then I got kicked out of the band, so that's good. Yeah, I don't know if he needs to see any of these. And then I was a cop.
Yes.
And now I'm a firefighter in the Midwest. Oh, here's my punk picture.
Oh my God.
I was a delight. Anyway, that's Amish screen sharing, so thanks for staying tuned.
Yay.
We need more pictures of Danielle.
I know. I'm like, I don't even know where I have pictures. Probably have a photo album. My picture is going to be like little tiny.
Yeah, I got pictures of Danielle.
But yeah, I was pretty death rocker back in the day.
You were, yeah. I was a total poser, but you were like the real fucking deal.
So fun. But yeah, so all the change, like, gosh, I could tell you 5,000 stories as well. My big change has been like, I would say over the last 2 years, a big process of leaving an abusive relationship, a 16-year abusive relationship. And so that was massive. And
yeah, I was really impressed with you.
Even though it was a good thing that I left that relationship, it's still, it's a change of like, here's how my life was. And now my life's completely different. Like there's literally somebody less in my household. And I'm now a single mom and doing all of these things. And I relied heavily on the advice of others, you being one of those people. And you figure out a way to deal with it, but it's so much better when you have community or other people that have gone through it, or let me tell you how it goes. And also giving yourself hope. So just like you were sharing your story of having to move out and living in the crack house and then finding your new home, while you're in it, it's really hard to see the light. And inside like, well, it'll get better, but not knowing when. for me, that's one of the most difficult things of sitting in change, is not knowing.
Okay, but so when you're happy, do you worry when is it going to go away?
Yes, I do. I know that's me though. I know I'm very special that way, but I've struggled with being mindful. So this is another issue I've had, is that I have a tendency to think in the negative space most of the time.
Yeah, I catch you all the time.
Not anymore. I'm changing. But,
good.
But yeah, so when I'm enjoying myself or feel myself happy, or I'm with somebody and having a good time, or just at an event or something, I immediately will start to think about, oh, well, this is temporary. It'll end. How sad. I will literally get sad while I'm in a happy space because I'm already thinking about it being over.
So like for me, goth is sort of about like dark humor.
Mm-hmm.
And like for you, you really are like the goth stereotype of the morose, like somebody hands you flowers and you're like, these are going to die soon.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That is me. And then when things are bad and sad, it's like, yep, this is how life is, you know? So, I was like that most of my life, and I would, disassociate with stuff. You know, I am very successful in my career and I've got lots of kudos for that, but I made my job my life because I didn't want to deal with my regular life. And so, you know, I have a great job now. I'm an executive, but with leaving this toxic relationship and really kind of reinventing myself, I really had to take a look at my life and realized I wasn't happy. And really, truly like finding things that bring me joy, doing different things, finding new activities, friends. We've done several episodes about mental health. You know, I have clinical depression, and a lot of that has come from a lot of stuff in my life. And now I'm, through your advice, going through hypnotherapy.
I know this is where I'm going to get like deep because I fucking love Lisa Hubler.
Yes.
She's one of the most fascinating people, and her voice comes from clouds in heaven.
Yes.
And I am not a woo-woo person at all. Mm-hmm. I'm very much Loch Ness Monster, ghosts, aliens, Jesus. It's all the same. Like, I don't know. But my sister was a hypnotherapist. My mom was a hypnotherapist. And I'm like, But there comes a point in some people's lives where you're going through something that you cannot control and you want to control.
Yes.
And you would do anything. I would rub a dead chicken on me or like try the like cow shit diet. Like I would have done anything just to like overcome XYZ. And for me, it was running. I'm an asthmatic. I'm a pack mule, not a cheetah. And when I went through LAPD Academy, it was shock and awe. And they were like, you have to run. I'm like, I've never run in my life. I got a running coach. He told me I ran like an out of control panda bear. I was like, how am I, like, I've just got this job. How am I going to run? Like, I don't know how to run. And so it would give me panic attacks. And whatever that runner's high is, I got a runner's low. I never ran as fast as I wanted, as far as I wanted. And every single time I ran was negative, whatever it is, where it's getting worse and worse. And I would have gone to any help, like whatever, like tell me, I'll try it. And my experience with her was like kind of weird, but she's so good at like asking you questions about how you feel about it, how you want to feel about it. And I didn't know her from anyone. I don't even actually know how I found her. But she was just amazing. The way that she talks to your inside.
Yes.
So good. Lisa Hubler, A Mind Matters. She's out of Studio City, California, I think. And, but we decided that the panic attack, because I'm a very visual person, that I would be breathing in blue and purple cool air that goes in and calms this like fire of like not really, just panic, just fear and all the terrible everything bad is like inside me while I'm trying to run. And the air is blue and purple and cool, and you can feel it all around. And then as I breathe out, all the orange and red air, like all of that bad stuff comes out. And, like when you're being hypnotized, as you know now, because you've been twice, you hear everything. You're not like dance like a chicken. No, I don't want to. But you hear everything she says. Like if she mispronounces something, you're like, oh, I'm going to have to hear that on the tape later. Like you're totally aware of what's going on in the room. You hear the motorcycle go by.
Yes.
So it's not like you're in a coma where they're like, drawing dicks on your forehead or whatever. And so, but just being like a natural skeptic, I'm like, I don't know if it worked. Like that was relaxing and it was kind of a fun journey, but I don't know that like it's going to do anything. Yeah. And it did everything for me. I was able to pass LAPD Academy and move on to bigger and better things in life. And I really do owe it to changing my mindset and taking away that panic of like, it's weird to have a phobia of running, but I guess that's like kind of where I was. And so for you've gone to Lisa twice.
Yes.
And so like for people who have never like been through hypnotherapy, and you hadn't before, right? You had never been hypnotized?
Never, yeah.
And so we told you a little bit about what it would be like, but what was it really like?
It's almost like the world's best therapy session. I had never met her or knew her before. In their very first session, she allowed me time to share like my high level trauma that I've experienced. So I have a lot of childhood trauma, and then all the way up till today, like stuff, ending this long-term toxic relationship and everything I'm dealing with at work and my life. And then just like you said, she asked me these just wonderful, insightful questions to really pull out of me, what I was feeling. And you have to have an intent. Like, what is your intent with this? Like yours was to get over this phobia of running. Mine, I feel, is more like philosophical and nuanced, because it was just like all of these things under my depression umbrella of wanting to be happy, or also being happy being single again, and not being like, am I going to die at 80 with 57 cats in the house and they're going to eat my corpse? Like, I think that might happen.
That's another reason to have bunnies. They don't eat your corpse.
But just to be okay with that, and through that, she was able to find a lot of the stuff I was dealing with stemmed from fear. The fear I experienced in my childhood and adolescence. I'm still carrying it. A lot of emotion that I experienced, sadness and neglect and feeling abandoned as a child. I disassociated from it and I shoved it down. And so today's session, she provided this beautiful visual of like how your body, oh gosh, now I've lost the word. I was going to say detoxify. That's not the word, but like your body, eliminates. There we go. Your body eliminates stuff, food, fluids, boogers, it doesn't keep it inside. If you kept all that stuff inside you, you would die. And she goes, imagine if you had this huge steak and it was like sitting in your stomach for a year, you'd feel disgusting and sick and you would die. And I was like, oh yeah. And she's like, well, your feelings, all these feelings you have, your body can't automatically eliminate that stuff. That's for you to do. And you've had that stuff in yourself for decades. Just like imagine what it's been doing to you. And this is why when you get upset or sad or depressed, like it's big, because it's all of that stuff. The door's opening to let that emotion out, and all of the sads in your system are from the last 40 years, are like, oh, it's our turn to get out of the door, and it's really big and scary. And I like immediately shut the door, and everyone's like, damn it. I thought we were going to get out. Okay. I'll, go back to playing cards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that makes so much sense. And so I have trouble with sitting in my feelings. I don't want to feel the ugly, gross stuff, but it comes up so frequently, and I just slam it down every single time. And I'm like, I'm going to go clean the kitchen.
And so each time you're kind of pressurizing it.
Yeah, I mean, I could be away.
Like making it like more powerful or whatever.
Yes.
It's like if you like it, like when you stifle a cough because you're like, oh, I'm in a class or something and I can't cough, and then like you're finally like, I'll sneak a little one out, and then like everybody's like, holy shit, like you're like, like you can't.
Yes, that's exactly. And so she was talking to me and teaching me about how like it's time for me to open the door and sit in my feelings and let it out, experience it, cry and scream and roll around on the floor. And the more I do that, the more it will be released. And so it's not like I'll never be sad again or upset. But it'll be small and manageable and easy to flow through me. I really loved that visual. So through her work, I'm already noticing positive change more than I ever have with any therapy or anything else or drugs or anything I've taken. Is I've been able to sleep better because a lot of fear came at night. I would fall asleep pretty fast because I have insomnia and I'm always exhausted. So, the second my head hits the pillow, I'm out. But I'd wake up every morning at 2 or 3. And the second I'd wake up, my mind's like, oh, all right. Let's talk about 3rd grade. Let's talk about the guy who dumped you. Let's talk about how you didn't get the promotion at work. And like every single night. And I couldn't turn it off. And it's just this constant brain chatter and rumination. So the very first benefit I've experienced through hypnotherapy is sleeping better and decreased, not eliminated, but decreased rumination. And so we talked about that again today. And today's session was very focused on letting go, which is aligned with it. I also have a hard time of letting go of people and emotions, not physical things. I'm really good at keeping my house clean. Don't look at the chinchilla cage over here, but I'm good at letting go of like objects and like, I don't need this anymore. Clothes, knickknacks, whatevers. But people and emotions, I hold on to it. People was very obvious why I hold on to people, even though some people in my life are not good for me, is because I didn't have people in my life growing up. So they're precious items. Like, oh, I found a person. They like me. I'm going to keep them around. I'm going to give them snacks and do all these things, almost like a pet in a way. Like, don't leave me. And so I have trouble with that because I have the scarcity mindset that, well, if I made a friend, what if I never make another friend? I have to hold on to them. And then additionally, these emotions, I fucking marinate in them and I can't let go. I will sit, it's like you walk down the street and trip and fall and, a group of people see you and like, whatever, big deal. But I'll sit and think about it for like weeks and weeks and I can't let that stuff pass through me. And
yeah, I think that's what makes us so different.
Yes.
Because if I fall in front of everyone, like I'm like, I sure did it. Did you see it? Do you want me to do it again? Like I don't have that fear of being a loser. Like I've been a loser in my life, and like I'll be the first one to laugh at myself. In fact, like I'm on Telegram with a bunch of cool people, and I get like finger wagged for like, you are always making fun of yourself and like all your thumbnails for everything, like, cause you're like the butt of the joke, and that's not nice to do to yourself. Like, I think it's funny. I don't really think I'm a chrysalis. Like,
yeah, well, that's part of your process of letting go. It was like, okay, it happened. I'm going to make fun of myself, and then I laugh about it, and then you release it. And that's a good thing, that whatever method you're using is your method, but it's a good thing that you're able to release that and move on from it, and you don't sit and think about it for a month after, like me.
Yeah, it's not even like I release it. It's that I just turn it into something that's funny. And I mean, I think like even before I was a goth kid, like I had a dark sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And that transferred when I became a cop. Then you really have a dark sense of humor because you see some stuff. And I don't know. Maybe it's just like an art form to be able to turn something like horrifically stinky into like a joke later. But
it's a method. It's a coping mechanism, and I think it's a very positive one. I have a dark sense of humor as well. The gallows humor, and I think that helps people get through tough times. Of stuff that's uncomfortable. Humor is a lovely vehicle to get you to feel it and not fall apart completely and then move on. And that's what, I'm doing through this hypnotherapy. And I'm very excited now that I've had my second session. Like, what changes will I experience? I really hope to be able to ruminate less and like find joy in my life. And my depression doesn't allow
Is it okay to ruminate not at all? Or do you think that you get some kind of comfort out of it that you want to keep a little bit?
Yeah, no, everyone ruminates. Like, that's a part of being human. That's the human experience. So I completely know that I'll continue to do it, but it's the ability to let it pass. Okay, here's a thought that's come in my head. A lot of therapists use this analogy of a train. Like, I'm sitting in a train and I'm looking out the window and, oh, there's a cow over there in the pasture. That's cool. I like cows. I wonder what that cow's eating. And then, oh, there's an eagle. Or, and it's like, so acknowledge it. It comes in, and then the ability to like let it pass. And like, okay, I thought about it, or here's what it means to me, and moving on. I have a problem with that last part. I just collect all of them and they're like all stacking up against each other while I'm looking out the train window. And it's this big giant ball of images, So, and how this all again relates to our topic of change is that change requires hard work. And that's another thing. A lot of people don't always want to put the work in. And so you have to come to a place of, there's something I'm not happy or satisfied with in my life, or I don't like it. I don't like how I am, or I feel, or whatever. And this could be anything from, me, my negative mindset. Other people, it could be, weight. Other people, it could be a job, or clutter in the home, or your relationship. And understanding if you don't do anything different, it's going to continue to exist exactly how it is. And then, the hard part is admitting like your accountability. Well, then that's my fault. If I'm having trouble moving my joints and I don't want to do stretches in the morning, well, I'm going to continue to do that. And one day I won't be able to get off the toilet when I'm 70, And so I was tired of feeling so down all the time and depressed and not being able to enjoy my life because, someone invites me out to dinner and the whole time I'm just sitting there like, oh, that guy dumped me, or this thing happened, and this dinner's nice, but it'll be over in 20 minutes. Who cares?
Yeah. I would say, like, being your friend for 1,000 years, it's hard. I'm not going to say it's hard to be your friend, but it's hard to watch you go through that and know that, like, no amount of rope in that quicksand is going to get you out, because it's like I don't know. It's watching you go through it is painful. And like, if I could rub a dead chicken on myself to help you, like, I freaking would, Yes. But I think it is like, I think there's an answer for everything, whether it's like, I saw a ghost, like, okay, but maybe it was whatever, like, or I ruminate, like, there's some kind of solution. And
yes.
I have a couple of friends going through a lot of medical issues now, vaccine. And it's like, we just don't know the answer.
Yeah. That's another piece of like, while I'm specifically speaking to change for like a positive change in my mental health. And
I see it, dude.
Like, that is such a massive buffet of solutions and remedies. Some people, medication's the way for them. Other people, it's therapy. Other people's meditation. Other people are able to find their way through other things, even just exercise. Or there was mold in their house and they moved, and like, that was the whole thing the whole time. So it is a journey to find out like what's happening with me, and then what's the solution. And sometimes it's a cocktail of a bunch of different things, but it does require work. It requires you to change, and that's difficult. You've talked a lot about this, and it's one of those ugly things I don't like to like admit, is that you can get comfortable in your lifestyle, even if it's not good. And there's something soothing about just the comfortableness of, well, I've always known this, and this is a lot in relationships because I've been reading 5,000 relationship books of, there's a lot to say for how your parents treated you, and that when you go to date, you're dating your parents kind of thing. But if you grew up in a household where everyone was yelling at you all the time, you'll go end up dating somebody that yells all the time, not because you like it, but because it's comfortable. Your brain's like, oh, I know this. Let's date this person. This sounds lovely. I remember this.
Well, luckily my dad's a pretty cool guy, so.
but yeah, realizing like, oh, I'm doing this because it's what I'm used to, even though it's bad for me.
Yeah.
And then having to have the courage and strength to change that. I go, well, I don't want to be with somebody that yells at me all the time. So I'm going to have to go date somebody who's quiet. And then realizing that might be boring. And you have to like get used to it of like, hey, this seems boring, and realizing that's just because it's not comfortable, because that's not what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, we were talking today about that stupid movie, He's Just Not That Into You.
Oh, yes.
Who likes like high drama guys.
Yes.
And then she goes on a date with this like accountant guy, Bill. And they're kind of sitting there and it's sort of awkward. And she's like, you know what? Thank you, Bill. Like, you planned a nice dinner and you showed up on time, and this is very nice. Thank you. And like, Bill's cute and he's stable and he's not a clown. And then at the end of the movie, she's like, I'm going to go for the hot bartender that hasn't liked me the whole fucking movie. Let's see what happens. Like, no, there needs to be an alternate ending for that freaking movie, because you need to be with Bill. Everybody needs a Bill. Bill's the good dude, not the flashy bartender twat. Okay, we had a couple of people. I've missed some chats going on here. I don't think there's any chat going on at Twitter. I don't know. Rod is still in the Molly Sleuth, although he's watching on Twitter. He's in the Molly Sleuth on Rumble, and he left you a bunch of cats. And then he left me some bunnies.
Okay.
But he left you cats first. So I feel like you're already winning. I mean, do you not see these majestic beasts?
I think they're equally cute.
Yes. And then Maven is in Pilled, tearing it up with a bunch of things that Rumble, now owned by BlackRock and Vanguard. That's entirely possible. I don't know what happened, but it's just like you get a spinning wheel of death, and life is a little difficult over on Rumble today. So hopefully they'll get their stuff together. And then somehow Ben went from Rumble, and then he was in Pilled, and now he's on YouTube. And now he's back on what's this stuff? What are you? I'm surrounded by Bens. He says we can be in every chat all at once and break the comments across platforms to be confusing. Listen, you know that I'm honorary Amish. Do not blow my mind. And then Pammy Rutledge is on YouTube. I don't know if she's still watching, but she said, good golly, Miss Molly. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. Hi, Danielle, and hi, Ben.
Yay.
Hi, Pammy.
Hi, Pammy.
Yeah, so, but sometimes change just happens to you. Like, it's not something, it's like me with my diet. Listen, your body is the physical manifestation of many, many, many choices. And I had McDonald's for breakfast and Taco Bell for lunch today, no lie. So here's what it looks like. Body by preservatives, body by BHT. But I used to be like, when we knew each other back in the day, like I was skinny and I was like, but I was more self-conscious then. Like when I was hot, I was self-conscious, and now I'm not. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm funny. Like, I don't know why that is.
I definitely think with age, you care less and less about how, like, here's how I look. If you don't like it, I don't really care. When you're young, you're more immature. You're more focused on looks and appearances and stuff. Pammy says she's still here.
Oh, hi, Pammy.
And yeah, so I think that also comes with age. And I mean, our bodies change. So that's something else. We won't get into it, that maybe for another episode, but for ladies, perimenopause and menopause, there's lots of changes that
I can't wait for it.
You have no control over. So I'm perimenopausal now, and what a delight.
Are you having hot flashes?
I am. Not bad, but they're starting.
I would think that a hot flash would be the greatest thing that could ever happen to me. I'm always cold. And like, if you lit my body on fire, it would be like the one time I'd be like, like as I die, I'd be like, this is the fucking life.
Well, you have that to look forward to. But yeah, so those are changes. Like, I didn't ask for those changes, and I don't have control over them. My body's changing, hormones are changing. And so you sometimes will have to do stuff to help it out or suffer through it. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Even
more.
like PMSing.
Yes.
I
Yep.
used to have this boyfriend, like I would be crying over fucking something stupid or whatever. He'd be like, "Are you about to get your period?" And like nothing would make me angrier.
Yes.
Because he was right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am mentally ill for a day or two. Of course, I never admitted that I was right. But he was right. I would just be like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, that happens. A few years ago, I was walking into my garage and I slipped and I broke my ankle. That was a treat, not what I was expecting. And it completely changed my life in seconds. My life was changed. And that's the same as with any accident, like falling downstairs and breaking your ankle is minor compared to like a car accident or something like that. We also talked about losing loved ones in our life. That's a massive change that you don't really have control over.
Yeah.
Was learning how to assess what's happened. How is my life going to be different? How am I going to get through this and how am I going to heal? And that's anything from, broken bones to death. And yeah, that's a very different set of change. You have the change of where I don't like this and I want to change it. I want better mental health. I want to lose weight. I want to save money to go on vacation versus something happened to me. I got in an accident or somebody attacked me or somebody passed. And how do I
that's all reality too. I think there's nothing wrong with saying like, I got in an accident.
Yeah.
And this hurts right now, but it's going to hurt a little less tomorrow. And
yeah.
I don't think I am like Sally Sunshine. Like every day is really good. I get my funks. I get in my stuff.
Yeah.
I think for me, change is so inevitable. Like I think you have to be able to be a little bit like flexible.
Yes.
Because life is just there to fuck you. And so if you could just like kind of roll with it, it just makes life a lot easier. But I would say the most important thing is to find a way to like self-soothe yourself. Because there are times when you're just like, dude, what happened to my life? And to have something that just resets you. And for me, it's the bathtub. Like I just lay there like steaming and like dying and like I'm not really there. And it's just like, this is so hot. This is so nice. And I just lay there fucking motionless. And I'm like, I don't even want the water to move with my breath. And I just like lay there. And I'm like, I feel so good right now.
Yeah. And that's like a part of self-care. So that I think helps a lot in dealing with change that you didn't want or didn't expect. And that also leads into is a whole other topic. I can keep talking for hours, is self-compassion. This also helps with change and going through different parts of your life. I always thought I was very self-compassionate. I consider myself a compassionate, empathetic person. And I just started reading this book just called Self-Compassion that got recommended. I'm halfway through it. There was a test at the start of it. Ask 50 questions and scale of 1 to 5. 1, you have no self-compassion, and 5, you're the most. And it's like most people score 3.5, and I scored 1.2.
That's so amazing to me.
I was shocked, and I was like,
because you're such a generous, loving, like you're just an amazing friend. You let everybody know that they're loved. Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're a dick too, but no, I'm just kidding.
So that showed me I have lots of compassion for other people, but
but not for yourself. Well, I don't know. If I had to fill that out for you, I'd be like -4. Like, what the hell? Because like you don't see what I see. I mean,
yeah,
we all think that you're this amazing person, and like, how do you not see it? It's like such a disservice to yourself to, it's like you see like the hot girls like, I'm ugly or whatever, like, fuck you. Are you fishing for compliments? You're hot. No, I really don't. Like, what? And it's like life is hard enough without making it harder. And I don't know, for me, like, it's totally sense of humor. The other day, I mean, like, I'm moving. So, like, I'm carrying 7 things up the stairs and 4 things down the stairs and, like, doing this whole, like, thing. And the bunnies, although they are perfect, I'm going to keep showing them until you agree. They had peed in their food bowl. It's beautiful. And so I'm taking the bunnies are upstairs right now. And yes. Technically, this is a 5-story house because it's shaped like a roller coaster.
Oh, yes.
And so I'm carrying this bowl of piss, but then I also am like the movie The Jerk, like, all I need is just this lamp. Like, I'm carrying all this stuff. And I bend over to get something more, and then the pee goes all over the fucking wood floor. And I'm like, yes. Oh, you did that, didn't you? Why are you bending over? Just don't carrying the pee and grabbing the lamp and doing and just handle one. But I can't. 7 things have to come down, 4 things have to go up. That's just how I am. And so then I had pee all over the floor, and I'm like, well, you really did that, didn't you? And but I also like root for myself as much as I make fun of myself too. Like I do root for myself, and I'm like, dude, like yesterday, I mean, I really kicked butt. I didn't have anybody to help me move. And I had these 2 giant dressers that I love very much, big antique wood dressers. And I'm like, well, there's got to be a way. And I rolled them up the stairs into my bedroom. And I was like, dang, I did that. Like, well, then I feel pretty good about myself. And I couldn't get the mattress up because it's made out of 700 pounds of evil Jello, and it just is like this shapeless dead weight. So I couldn't sleep in my bed. But tonight's the night.
Yay!
I know, I'm very happy about that. Okay, so when you do the hypnotherapy, she gives you a copy of it. And so you had your second one today, but have you been listening to the tape up until the second appointment, or?
Yes, I had. I want to say one more thing on self-compassion, and then I'll do that. Because self-compassion is a huge part of change, especially when you're doing a change that you want. So let's say you want to lose weight, and you're going along and having your progress, and then you have a bad day, something bad happens at work or whatever, and you eat a whole bag of chips or a whole thing of Oreos. That self-compassion is that where that kicks in to say, hey, you know what? I'm human and it's okay. And not to give up and be like, oh, I ate a whole bag of Oreos, so I'm just stopping. I'm not even going to try anymore. That self-compassion allows you to say, it's okay, I had a bad day. This doesn't change anything. And that the next day you get right back on track. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. They think they have to be perfect in dealing with things.
It becomes an excuse.
Sure.
Every day at work is a bad day at work. That's why they have to pay you, by the way. If it was fun, they wouldn't have to pay you. But I think it can move over into that excuse territory. Well, I deserve a little treat. Today's been a rough day. It's the, girl's birthday in the office, blah, blah, blah. I'm in a rush.
Yeah.
I don't have a single utensil in my kitchen yet, so let me just go get fast food for the 80th time this week. And then it becomes like a new habit because you're allowing yourself to have too many excuses.
Yeah, it can. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it. I get a little bit more driven. Like if I've set a goal, and I used to be very hard on myself if I, had one little mistake or one little hiccup. And so it's having that self-compassion it's okay. I had an off day and tomorrow I get to start again. Also with this excuses thing, I think there's a component of people go back to what's comfortable, going back to the whole relationship thing again of, oh, I love eating donuts for breakfast. They taste so good. So you go have one and then realizing, oh, I don't feel so good now, and realizing what I did isn't good for myself, and I love myself enough to not do this anymore. And sometimes you have to do that 50 times before you find that. That's my problem with people is, I let somebody punch me in the face 50 times before I'm like, this kind of hurts. I'm going to walk away now, you know, and it's like learning to walk away after maybe the third time instead of the 50th time. But back to the hypnotherapy. Yes. After the hypnotherapy, she gives you a recording of your session, and I listen to it every single night when I go to sleep. And I used to get in you have to get in position and have like your legs elevated and socks in your hands and an eye pillow and a chicken in your arm. And so I was doing that at night, but it was making me antsy. I don't know why. I didn't when I had a session with her, but I think because as my body was trying to fall asleep, that position wasn't comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
My body started fighting me falling asleep. And so I told her, and she goes, it's fine. You don't have, it's nice if you can do it in that position, but go ahead and sleep how you normally would and play it. So after that, it was heaven. I put it on at night and I lay down. I think I make it maybe 2-3 minutes. I'm out.
Yeah, consciously you make it 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes, but it's playing, and you know, like,
yeah.
Danielle, you're amazing. Yeah, a rock star. Everything's wonderful. You don't like donuts for breakfast, you know? Yeah. And so, yeah, so that I really felt like for a full week, like super positive and sleeping.
I mean, I've known you forever. You're lighter and you're like effervescent. Like you can tell in your face that you just feel better. And I think that's the one thing that interests me the most, because like what happens? Are you going to be okay with this like new Danielle that likes life? Because you've really identified as this person that's just like, you know, this black cloud keeps fucking following me, and like, and now the cloud could be gone, and you're like, I don't really know what sunshine is. This is kind of weird.
Yes, that's a huge component of change as well. That again, this is an area it's ugly for me to talk about, is how you self-identify with being a way that you actually don't like. So it's like, yeah, I'm the girl with the dark cloud over her head. Like, oh, now it's gone. Well, who am I now? Like that's not my persona, and it feels uncomfortable and weird, and it makes you want to go back. I'm the girl that eats donuts for breakfast, or I'm the girl that, you know, gets punched in the face all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, how do I change that? And it really is changing the narrative. Lisa is so good at positive talk. She corrects me like every single sentence. Like,
yes.
You mean you used to do that? You are going.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait till I can be more positive. She's like, you're doing it right now. Like right this second. And I'm like, okay, yep. Like stop yelling at me, you know? But like, she's so good at catching every single negative thing I say. And I didn't realize how I spoke so much in the negative tense until, and a part of it was identifying. Like, well, I always do this, or I always get sad, or no, that has been your past. That's not today, and that's not your future.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to believe that too. I'm going to change. You're right. Mm-hmm. I'm no longer going to do that or think this way or have that expectation. It's changed. I'm doing it right now. And that's a really big thing. And so part of that change, she had another beautiful visual for me. It made me cry because I was telling her, you know, I'll go a little dark here for a second, but I have a lot of I don't know if I can say the word, but unaliving myself ideation.
Oh yeah, YouTube doesn't like that one.
Yeah, I have a lot of that, and I kind of had this epiphany in the session of, you know, the reason I have that ideation is I get down on myself a lot because I don't enjoy life. I feel very like, what am I doing here? What's the point? I don't want to be here anymore. This is boring to live life. I don't want to be here. Nobody cares about me anyway. All of that swirls in my head, and then I get this really horrible ideation. And today I thought maybe I have that because there's a component of my life I don't like anymore that's preventing me from the other parts of me living my life. And I was like, maybe I want that part of me to die. Letting go. I want that part of me I can let go, let it die, so the other parts of me can live. And she was like, oh, that's so beautiful and it's wonderful. Yes, many, oh gosh, I lost the word again. This happens in perimenopause, people. You lose words.
You get retarded.
So lovely. but there's many traditions. There you go. There's many traditions that have this kind of concept of being reborn. And she's like, you're like a phoenix. And I was like, oh, you know, kind of cheesy, but I thought it was such a beautiful imagery of like, yeah, I was dying. I was sick. I was dying, so sad, so depressed. And I'm letting myself die in a spiritual sense, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
so I can be reborn. This is a new person now. I'm going to associate different things with myself now. I'm not going to be the girl with the dark cloud. I'm going to be somebody else. And this is part of the change. And it's going to feel ugly and gross and weird and uncomfortable. And then I'm going to be this beautiful phoenix and be a new person. And
here's the thing that's going to happen with you. Once you let that go and you see what we all see in you, you're going to become the most egotistical bitch in the whole world. Then we're really not going to like you because you're going to keep reminding us, do you know how generous I am? Do you know how funny I am? Do you know how disciplined and pretty and successful? And we're just going to like, Danielle, stop calling me.
Hey, if I get there, if I become narcissistic, by all means, please.
And then you're like, I used to be afraid of being alone and now I can't wait to be alone. And then you like have your hand mirror.
Just me and my reflection. No.
So do you think that's like kind of the key to you, at least with change, is just like letting go and stop trying to like hold on to the side of the cliff? Cause like, just go, just.
Yes. This letting go, that, I mean, I have 6 names for autobiographies. This will be my 7th autobiography, letting go. My first one is a story for another time, was You Weren't Their First Choice. It's the name of my first autobiography. But yes, letting go has been like named almost like the title, the big Broadway sign of my depression is letting go of all these horrible emotions I had as a child, letting go of things I can't control, letting go of people that, you know, aren't supporting me and helping me feel good about myself. And yeah, letting go of things that don't serve me just in general.
Yeah.
And, you know, and fear is what's making me hold on. And this is why I also have a fear of flying. Like we talked about that a little bit. She's like, we'll have to do a whole other session on that. But, you know, I want to control the plane because I have a fear of what's going to happen. And I might die, or there might be turbulence. And she's like, you have to let go and just go with the turbulence and let it go. And I'm like, yeah, story of my life. Yeah. I've spent my life trying to control my surroundings and my interactions with people and my relationships because I want it to be nice. I don't want there to be conflict. I want it to be smooth flight with everything. That's not life. And so it's your ability to let go and let life happen, let people, and then assess when you take stuff in and experience stuff. And okay, I like this, I don't like this. I love this, I hate this, and you know, changing your life and going from there and not being afraid of what will happen. You know, so many people do things out of fear. I mean, so many of us don't say things to people at work, at home, in relationships to family members because we're afraid of the reaction, or they won't talk to us anymore, or whatever. Who cares?
Well, I think I'll just play devil's advocate because I'm the opposite. You know everything that goes on in my head because it comes out of my face. Yes. And good or bad, you know if I like you or not. But I would say if I'm stepping on your toe and grinding your foot and I have no idea that like my boot is on your little bare toes, it's only worse to just sort of like, maybe she'll notice. Oh God, that really hurts. Like, yes. Just be like, hey, fucker, you're on my toe. Like, it doesn't have to be mean spirited. It doesn't have to be, of course I just said, hey, fucker, but it doesn't have to be like, you're so in the wrong. I can't believe you would step on my foot. Like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but you're actually on my foot, is actually kind of more passive aggressive than, hey, get off my foot. You're on my foot. And to not, and I think, I don't know, because I always talk about this, like in being a cop, There's like a saying, like, find something to fuck with and fuck with it. Like, so we're constantly scanning for needs. And so you see the lady with the stroller, like walking up to the door of the bank, and you're like, I know that's not an automatic open. And you're like running over to open the door for her. And there's a lot of people who just, you know, would have the lady in the stroller hold it with her teeth while they saunter in. So I think awareness about it, but I don't know. It's like change is inevitable. And I think bad things are really good things. If you've never had your tire pop, then you don't know how to change a tire. To me, it's scarier driving down the street thinking, if my tire blows, I don't know what to do. That is a place of helplessness, and you are at the whim of everything. Do I wish that I had more tire lessons on the side of the road? No, of course not. But when bad things happen, it enables you to be able to tackle life in a new way. Like, who knew how to clean bunny pee out of the cracks of parquet floor? I know now.
Yeah.
And so it was just...
Yes, absolutely. Like, all of these things that happen in our life. There's a beautiful book out there by Oprah Winfrey and Bruce D. Dyer of like what happened to you. And it talks about PTSD and looking at the way people behave in terms of like what happened in your life that made you this way versus like what's wrong with you. It's a very lovely book. And at the end, it was this concept of you've been through this trauma. If you had a choice, would you change your life, like go to do it over again and have a smoother life? And no, because my gift, my strength is my ability to have overcome all these things. That's my power, is that I'm so strong and resilient. And I wouldn't be that way had I not had all this trauma in my life. So I although it sucks, some of the stuff that happens to us is horrible. Some of the things people have had to endure. If we're able to move on and overcome it, it becomes a massive strength. And so, yes, I completely agree with that. And then speaking your mind respectfully is so freeing, you know. And again, so many people are afraid to do that because they're afraid of the reaction, or if that person won't like me or leave me. You know, like my family is very conservative and they're anti-tattoo. And I started getting tattoos as, you know, the day I turned 18, you know, and I had
Come on, Danielle, take your sweater off. Let's see what you're dealing with.
I had to, you know, hide them. And it was always like, I had to dress like it was 14 degrees outside, even though I lived in Southern California, you know, and it was like, why are I all the time, why are you wearing that sweater? Why do you have long sleeves on? And I'm like, I like it. I'm cold, you know. And because I didn't want to upset my family, part of it was out of respect, but I was like, what if they get angry and they don't want to talk to me anymore? And then it's like, I should have just let them, because maybe they would have just accepted me.
Yeah.
I was making an assumption of how they would react to it.
Or not. Like, let's say I'm doing something that hurts your feelings, which probably happens all the time, and you don't tell me, then it's like our friendship is based off of a lie.
Yes, 100%. That I read, I don't remember what book or article I read that kind of blew my mind, this concept of people pleasing. It was an article about people pleasing. And then if you're always trying to people please, people actually don't know your authentic self, because you're showing up as who you think they want you to be, not who you are. So not only do you have to perform that constantly for them, you're a liar. I was like, oh, how horrible, because I'm a people pleaser.
And like, I think with the election, that was really big too, because people were like, who did you vote for? Like, who did you vote for? And like, people were, you know, like you have to have hand signals just to say like, are you pro-America? Well, that depends on what your version of pro-America is. I just have I'm going to put on my little pin right now with my eyeball.
I love the eyeball.
I know, the eyeball's good. I have a second one if you want it. I'll mail it to you.
Yes, I'd love it. I put I don't know which, I put a little butterfly today for our metamorphosis.
I make so many friends with these pins. First of all, the first one I had, I went to the People's Convention in Detroit to watch Trump speak and a bunch of Turning Point stuff and everything, all conservative and pro-America and everything. And this lady was selling these pins, and I was like, oh, that's cute, I'll buy one. And then my best friend Randy came out, who you know, and we're in the elevator, and this lady, I'm wearing an American flag dress, and my hair's in buns with big American flag bows and like glitter lipstick on, and like I just look like, you know, I came from Toddlers and Tiaras. And this lady was in the elevator, and she sees my pin, and she's like, who's that? You know who that is. It's your daddy. Like, why are you even being passive aggressive? And so then she starts screaming at me, and then she's telling her cuck husband, this is why I want to go to, where did she want to go? To Ireland, because fucking Americans, whatever. Like, sweetheart, you're from like Poughkeepsie. I don't know. What are you like saying? You're like, this is tolerance and the love of the left. Like, you can't even let a dumb caricature of a human being wear a pin with troll hair. You're that triggered that you can't even ride a freaking elevator. So then the next day we went back to the convention, and I go to the lady with the pins. I'm like, I got to buy all the rest of them because I'm starting some fights, and I need, so I have so many of these. But sometimes his hair falls off.
Oh,
I got a couple of like hairs that have to get glued on, and they've all got to like come back to each other. And then I think about it at night, like, what if I put the wrong hair on the wrong one? Like, you know, they were meant to be together. But yeah, I'm not a fan of pretending that things are okay if they're not okay. It's not that I am like positive Sally Sunshine. So growing up in a pack of drag queens, I just have this inner voice of my old best friend saying, girl, it's not that serious.
Yes.
And I think about him. I'm sure he doesn't think about me. But I just think about him saying, girl, it's not that serious. And like everything in life, girl, it's not that serious. Like, oh, she forgot my fries. Girl, it's not that serious. Like, and that's sort of like how he went through life, is like, don't sweat the small stuff. And that really does resonate with me, because it's like, yeah, we spend a lot of time like wrapped around the axle over bullshit.
Yes. And there's something, I know it's so cliche, don't sweat the small stuff. There's a book series on it, but it is so true. And what I'm finding is that many of us don't know how not to sweat the small stuff. And it's like you said, change is inevitable. Every single day, there's going to be a little mouse turd in your cereal. There's something that's going to happen. It's very rare you're going to have a perfect day where everything was perfect, right? We might have a handful of those in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And it's that resiliency, that grit that is so hard to sometimes creating yourself, but you can. That's the good news. You can get that, just like you can build self-esteem and self-confidence and self-compassion. It takes work, and something, I actually go to multiple therapists. I'm a dumpster fire. But another one of my therapists pointed out that kind of hurt to hear. She's like, you don't stand up for yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And she's like, she gave me examples, and I was like, how dare you? And it was really upsetting. I felt really bad about myself. And she's like, well, you need to starting today. You need to start standing up for yourself. And I literally said, I guess I don't know how. And she's like, she got close. She goes, we're going to teach you. And I was like, good. All right. I was like, so happy. And so sometimes people need help. It's not as so easy as like, don't be sad, or well, just start speaking your mind, or start standing up for yourself. Like, if you've never done it, just like if you've never walked before, like someone has to help teach you, and you have to practice it. That's the hard part. I have to practice doing this for weeks, months, sometimes years before it becomes a habit, and I know how to do it. I didn't get depressed overnight. It was just like you said earlier, we don't become a certain way overnight. It's a series of decisions over a long period of time that we get to this. So it's going to take work and a long time for me to get better, but I will. That's the good news. That's the hope. And I have to put that work in and not give up. If I have a bad day where I talk down about myself, or I didn't stand up to my boss or something, it's okay. Self-compassion.
Yeah, I don't even think, and I'm going to be Lisa Hubler here for a second.
All right. Okay.
I don't think it's going to take you a long time.
Okay.
I think it's going to take you one big mental mind shift.
Okay.
And
All right.
you'll be there when you're ready for it.
Yes.
It is a big change because honestly, it's going to just like redefine you. And like, I'm excited about it only because I know what's at the other end of the black cloud. That you're an amazing person. And I think you're going to be really excited to find out who you are.
Yay. I feel like this whole episode's been like therapy session with Danielle. You know?
Right. Let me change the title now.
Change the title.
Is a bitch.
Fixing down. Oh. But yes, and yeah, so I'm excited. I have hope. I'm excited for the journey, and I know that change is hard. And yes, I will get to the place where I don't sweat the small stuff and the little things. I acknowledge.
You just need to hear Alex in your voice saying, "Girl, it's not that serious."
It's not that serious.
If I had a recording of it.
I need that all the time. A button I could push to have a drag queen tell me that.
Girl, it's not that serious.
I need every day. And yeah, most stuff, not everything. Most stuff isn't that serious. And I mean, I feel like I go from one rumination to the next. And how funny, you know, on Monday, maybe I messed up at something I said at work, and I won't stop thinking about it, and it's like hurting my focus and making me feel down. And then Thursday comes and my tire pops, and it's like all of a sudden that thing I did at work is gone. And it's like that in and of itself shows me like these things aren't serious and they're nothing, because the next little thing just makes it disappear. I'm choosing to sit in it and ruminate. Yeah. Whereas I could have forgotten about it and moved on.
Yeah. I mean, I think from going from homeless to my little old lady house with the Masonic murder basement is definitely change. And it is a little bit weird because you're like, what did I do to deserve this house? Like, it's so crazy. And I really like the weirdness of it. And I don't think it's like a house that nobody else would have bid over asking on. I did. Yes. And I got it. And and so it's a lot of change. It's a lot of change because I've been in apartments for a million freaking years. And, you know, worried about like, oh, well, we can't paint the wall because it's got to stay beige so that it's, you know, in market worthy condition, whatever. And like, this is just so exciting that like I have glow in the dark stars on my ceiling and I don't even like care if they stick there forever or not. Like, I'm not worried about the gummy glue and like, but so there is a lot of change there, and it is weird. But then it's like, you have to think about, well, why do you have this house? I have this house because I have spent my life being such a little squirrel, like hoarding my money instead of, you know, like, oh, you know, let's just blow it all, put it all in red. Like, and so like, I'm here because of me, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
What was it like? Was it Snoop Dogg that was like, I'd like to thank myself?
Yes. Yeah. That's one of the best speeches ever. Everyone should go watch that.
Yeah, but it's true though, because he did the work. He got up, he did everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I think there's a component of self-esteem there. So this is another thing. Continuing therapy with Danielle time here is believing that you deserve the good things. You know, if I've never been loved, it's like, oh, I guess I'm unlovable and I don't deserve to be loved. It's like, no, finally believing like I do deserve good love. I do deserve a nice house to live in. And so not feeling weird about like, what did I deserve? I have a nice car. Why I shouldn't have this, you know. When you struggle with low self-esteem, you almost don't believe you deserve those things. And sometimes you push that stuff out of your life. Like you're actually causing, you know, continued pain or despair.
And that's why Lisa grabs you and says, bad dog.
Yes. Yes, because you do deserve, we all deserve to be happy. We all deserve
we deserve an equal opportunity to work for things. And some people's lives are a lot freaking easier than others. And I think I mean, do I deserve to like not be homeless? Like, I'd say so. I mean, I've been paying taxes since 1984, so I feel like I should have some housing.
Yeah.
Especially when the average welfare recipient is making tens of thousands of dollars a year to smoke drugs and ask me for my sweaters. But it is weird because it's like so many bad things have happened in my life. So it's real easy to be like Charlie Brown running towards the football going like, I don't know about this.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I'll run for it, but I don't know if it's going to be there. And that's not just with housing. That's with boyfriends. That's with, jobs, whatever. And I don't know that that's necessarily about self-esteem. Like bad stuff happens. And
yes.
Like I just don't spend a whole lot of time going like, oh my God, I didn't get a parking spot at the grocery store because this is paying me back for all of those times that I kicked kittens on the street.
Yes.
Let's look at Dina's kitten again.
So so it's twofold. Oh, there's Rogue. Oh, there he is. Rogue. So it's twofold. It's being able to not sweat the small stuff and have a resiliency to move on when the bad shit happens, because it's going to happen every day. And also acknowledging that you deserve good stuff. So when good stuff happens, you get the house, you get the partner, you get they gave you an extra potato on your steak plate. Like, oh, I didn't ask for that. What happened? I'm not going to say anything.
Tell me more about the carbohydrates.
Yes. You got a curly fry with your regular straight fries. It's like,
we do that on purpose.
Oh, and it's like, hey, you know what? I deserve this. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have good things happen to me and accepting it. So it's also, the resiliency of getting over the bad stuff, as well as having the self-esteem to accept, yeah, I deserve some good shit too. Wow.
Okay, so what are you going to do for yourself, buy for yourself, whatever, the first time that you, Lisa Hubler, yourself and catch yourself about to say something negative and then switching it to the positive?
Oh my gosh.
How are you going to reward yourself for that change?
I buy myself stuff all the time. So
I know, but like how are you going to reward yourself?
That's a hard question.
It's a hard question for you, but like,
it is
think that you buy yourself stuff, but you're also a 1 point whatever on the scale of self-compassion. So I feel like there's like some room to improve.
I know, but I'm trying to think like, what would I do for myself to like treat myself? And gosh, that's a hard thing because all I'm thinking of is like,
and that fascinates the shit out of me.
Yeah, I can't.
You are literally stuck trying to figure out how you're going to celebrate something totally tiny. And I could tell you 800 things that I would do for myself. Like, oh, I didn't spill bunny piss on the floor. Let me tell you how I'm going to celebrate.
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
I think it's an important one. And I think it's part of your change because you don't inherently, you buy stuff for yourself, but like, okay, great. I got another 5-pack of underwear. Cool. This one didn't come with Saturday either. So I don't, but it's like, but are you really buying yourself stuff?
I am. I'm not going to get into my spending. I do have a spending problem. We won't talk about that on here. But I made that change several years ago. I'll probably say about roughly 5 years ago. Like I used to wear Target underwear. There's nothing wrong with Target underwear, everybody. If you're wearing it, that's fine. It's good quality brand. But it didn't make me feel good about myself. So I started buying lingerie, and that's what I wear all the time now. And it's a little more expensive, but it built my self-esteem up so much.
Yeah.
I started buying myself real jewelry, this beautiful ring. The lady I buy jewelry from is in California, and she's going to be in my town tomorrow at a fair. And I'm going to go there and say hi to her and enjoy my time at the fair. And I might buy myself a piece of jewelry. So
I think that sounds like you possibly know how to treat yourself.
So I think I definitely do. And I'll go and take myself out to dinner and, buy myself a pair of shoes if it comes my way that I'm like, oh, I need those. I still need a nice pair of green shoes. I still need, I have all the other colors, but I need a green.
I am going through such a green phase in my life right now.
Me too. But yeah, so
my bedroom.
Yes, I know. It was gorgeous.
I went into the carpet store. I'm like, do you have a mentally ill section or like a kids section? They think I'm funny at the carpet store.
You are funny.
I am funny. And
there's other ways that I would like to find non-spending ways to treat myself, and maybe just like have a bath, or I'm gonna sit and watch TV for 2 hours because I never take myself to the movies even, or go get an ice cream, or read this book I haven't read because I never give myself time to sit and read, or go take a walk by myself. There's things I try to incorporate regularly. But yes, I need to do a better job of making it a reward of, hey, I went 2 days without saying something negative. I'm going to go get a hot fudge sundae.
Those bracelets work a little bit.
Yes. I still have them. I need to start wearing them again. I was wearing them.
Yeah, I know. Mine are lost. They're someplace in the move. Like I indulged in now that I'm unpacking, it's like, oh, I don't have 4 freaking shirts to wear for a month and a half. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear a pin. I'm gonna do this. I got socks with bunnies on them today. I'm like, yes, it's like all fresh. Yeah, I don't know, because that is tricky. I'm the same way. I buy myself everything I could possibly ever freaking want. But there's a lot of ways to reward yourself otherwise, and that would be just I'm gonna turn off the phone and do a jigsaw puzzle and not worry about anything.
Ooh, right, I like that.
Yeah. Or when you go on your walks, take a book with you, and then at the furthest point or at a nice point, stopping point of your walk, say, now I'm just going to sit here and read 10 pages. And it doesn't take that long. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm going to buy myself a fancy bookmark, which encourages, another hobby. And
yeah, I love that. You're very good at this.
Well, I'm too good at this. This is not the body of somebody who deprives myself of everything in this world that I want. This show is not brought to you by the new Cantina burrito at Taco Bell. It wasn't that good.
Well, you tried it.
I did. It felt like a healthy option. It's I don't know if there's fat people in the cantina, so I'm just going to go with it. But yeah, it wasn't that good. And then, look at this. So I am working on my house feverishly. This will appeal to your anal retentive side. So these are all the things that I have to do. And then with each room. And then I just like rip them off. And the green ones are things that I have to buy for rooms. And
that is phenomenal. It's like you just showed me a picture of like a pornography picture. Like oh my.
Yeah.
I'm
there's a lot to do.
Getting moist looking at that. This is beautiful.
And I'm only like, I'm focusing on the bedroom mostly right now because this is like your sanctuary. You gotta like be like, you gotta be happy there. I'm changing out the doorknob. I'm hanging my 70s swag lamps. And yeah, there's just that kind of keeps me motivated. Like I really just, there's something about ripping off a tab and being like, yeah, you're going in the trash. It's like good. But I will send you more pictures. So, okay, speaking about change, and we talk about music all the time because we sort of grew up in that same sort of like weird genre. Yeah. And we were talking about this old song from an old band. And I mean, like you're saying that now you're like revisiting this band, Wolfsheim.
Yes.
And we're going to play the song as we close out the night. But it's 2 songs. And like, I think this is like such a genius idea of his. So there's 2 songs. It's the same song with different lyrics.
Yeah.
And so one of them is Find Your Here. So I'll just read the lyrics. Hold on, Grandma needs her glasses. When I wake up, I find you're here. I should feel joy, but I'm not even near. I don't know where you've been tonight. I guess you've been with someone else, but I don't care if I'm right. I do not feel no jealousy. If I would lose you now, I'd simply say it's destiny. So like he wakes up and she's there and he's like, it's okay. Yeah, life will go on and life will be fine. If, okay, I don't need to watch an ad. Close that shit. But then the second version of the song, he says, when I wake up, I find you're gone. There should be grief, but I feel none. I'm trying to leave the night behind. I hardly get my thoughts in line. But there's one thing I could say. It seems I'm glad I find you're gone. And so like the way that the song goes, it's two different versions. And it's like he wakes up and she's there and he's like, and life's going to move on and it's going to be okay. And he wakes up and he finds that she's gone and it's all going to be okay. I just think it's sort of like a genius idea. And the music video is really cool too. Have you ever seen the video? It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched part of, I think the one where it was Find You Gone. I think I watched part of that.
And so like, it sort of talks about change because like you're just accepting your fate.
Mm-hmm.
I simply say it's destiny. Can't sing. I've been kicked out of every band I've ever been in, including yours, Danielle. So thanks for that. We're never gonna let you live that down.
I had nothing to do with it, I promise.
I have since bought a left-handed bass. I play it just as well. So I know you're not inviting me into your next band, but
we could start one. I'm playing drums again now. So
that's exciting.
Yeah. Yes.
Why don't you get yourself a little cowbell the next time you
I love that's
donk.
What I'm treating I'm getting a cowbell for my
Are you really?
That's it. You nailed it.
All right, cowbell.
Yes.
And then you could have cowbell moments where you're just like, oh shit, I just changed it. Instead of saying something negative, I changed it to something, and that's just another donk. Donk. Donk.
Yeah. I love it.
I have so much fun talking with you. Thank you
for
coming on and saving the day. I was like, what am I going to talk about? And then you had all these great ideas.
No,
maybe not menopause. I'm not ready to hear about menopause.
Yeah, well, we can do another episode on that later. But yeah, it's all change. It's all life. Life happens to us, and how
I mean,
it and how we see it, right?
Right. I mean, the Molly and Danielle from back in the day, crawling on the dance floor of Release the Bats, getting hit on by vampires with fake fangs.
Yes.
And like now, look at us. We even wore the same sweater today.
I know.
Take yours off, Danielle. Let's see your monster shirt underneath.
I have a Lord of the Rings shirt on underneath.
Oh, that's not even monsters.
There's monsters in Lord of the Rings.
All right. Well, what do you have to say in closing besides that bunnies are better than cats?
No, they're just as good as cats. What I'll share in closing is something you shared. Change is inevitable, so there's no stopping that. They always say that the two knowns in life are death and taxes. I'd also add change to that. Change happens every day. We talked about change that happens to you accidentally, acts of God, and you're falling downstairs, or somebody sideswipes your car, to change you want to do, getting in shape, better mental health, decreasing your debt, getting a diploma, whatever it is that you're after. It all takes work, and it all takes a mindset of determining what you want and the path you're going to follow, and having self-compassion. I think that's a big key, is having a focus, like having a goal, having self-compassion along the way. And I love these treats, this rewards along the way. I mean, that's just science. It's proven fact that if you get little rewards along the way while you're doing something, you'll keep doing it, instead of you have to do something for 2 years and you don't get your reward till the end. Like,
that's what dieting is.
I'm not going to probably make it, but if I know I can treat myself every month, if I've hit my goal of the month, my little goal that I've made, I'm going to keep going. So it's all of these strategies and tactics, and also finding other resources. Maybe I need to go I need to get a life coach. I need to go see a therapist. I need to get hypnotherapy. I need to read some books. I need to, get some help and resources together so I know how to do the things I want to do. Because as I learned, just this week, there's things I need to change in my life, but I don't know how. And
you know what you need, Danielle?
What?
More cowbell.
Yeah. That is my final part. When in doubt, when struggling with change.
That's what you need. More cowbell.
Yes.
I guess my closing would be, girl, it's not that serious.
Yes. Yes.
And Alex, if you're out there, like, I wrote you on Instagram and you left me on red, so that wasn't very cool of you. We kind of used to be best friends, but anyway. Next week, I'm meeting a girl. I'm really kind of excited about this. She's her name's Twisted Sister. That's probably not on her birth certificate, but she is all about plants.
Ooh.
And I'm trying. I'm trying to have my little green thumb.
Plant mama, yes.
Yeah, and I'm not even really sure. Do I bring all my sad plants on and go, what did I do wrong on this one? So,
there has to be a show and tell. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, because I've been living out of a storage unit and all that stuff, and my work was that was all plants up there. Mm-hmm. And my boss was like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, it's fresh in here. Don't even say, just be grateful I don't collect beanie babies, because I had plants all over the office. So that's going to be fun. And then I just personally can't wait to watch you change more and grow your little cowbell. Maybe that'll be a thing that I say to you now. You'll say something negative and I'll be like, I'm going to need more cowbell. In other words, I'm not letting you get away with saying that.
I like it.
All right. Well, we are going to play that song. Now I feel like a DJ. We're going to play Wolfsheim, Find Your Here. I think it's a good one. I think it's kind of jazzy. Yes.
It's very
good. Good night to everybody, Pammy and Rod and Ben, and I'm sure I'm going to call you in a minute, and blah, 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 everyone. And okay, I guess I can close 33. Oh, I gotta shut off YouTube. That YouTube doesn't like